Hey guys, my name is Cityyak and welcome back to another episode of Canal Town here in City Skylines, where last episode, guys, I did something that I thought I might regret, and while it does look terrible, it works, and for that reason, we are keeping it. And I'm talking about the big interchange that I kind of turned into a spiral roundabout. Now, like you guys said, you could have done this, you could have done that. I didn't want to change the original intersection. I just wanted to add on it so it kind of kept its original design. As crazy as it looked and as weird as it kind of now seems, it kind of works and we solved some issues and I'm kind of happy with it. But today we're going to take things to the next stage. We actually have a little bit of an issue if there's not enough educated people. Now, while I would place down more schools to get them more educated, it's kind of then sparked the idea in my head. I think it's time we build this second university. I think we need to build another university, then we need to build another industry. So we'll build the university first to create the smarty pants to lead our new industry into the future. So if you do enjoy this, want to see more, smash the like button down below. New around here, make sure you subscribe so you get notified when this episode come out. And brief. So yeah, this is the intersection that we did last episode. It looks a bit funky and whatnot. Some people said, can we just turn the whole thing into a roundabout and then just add these as connecting on and off ramps? I wanted to keep the flow and the spiralness of it. It's an awkward shape and it's not perfect, but that's what makes it beautiful. Sometimes the most imperfections are the most perfect. Also, it means a lot more vehicles can now flow through, which then kind of puts a little bit of pressure on this junction here. And I figured out what the issue is. It's a mixture of, obviously they're all coming in and their options are to either go left or right. But the people going left have to wait for these vehicles to pass. Thus, as you can see now, everyone going right has to kind of wait. So I'm going to put like a asymmetrical road going down here and kind of double it up into 2 lanes. So we can have like an inner lane at some point which goes this way. So it will stop then from having the vehicles backlog on the actual highway itself. And then once I've done this, guys, we'll talk about our brand new university. So let's sort this out first then. This is actually going to be quite exciting. So when it comes to the highways, I don't think we have a variation of asymmetry. Oh, actually we do. We have a variation of it. So if I just pause the game real quick, and we're going to add all this in. Right, la-di-da-di-da. And am I missing something here, or is that exactly how it needs to be? Let me go to our lane management. So from this point here, this should be the straight on. I might have to slightly adjust some of these bends right now, because I don't know whether that's going to be a little bit too much. It's like I don't want to adjust it too much because it will take away from the flow that I've created, but I think that might be okay. I might have to bend. There we go. Just kind of gives a little bit more leeway of that vehicle leading out. And then we kind of have to then upgrade this road here. Oh, elevate that bad boy. There we go. And we'll only elevate it, sorry. Only upgrade it to about there. I don't want to do it all the way because my lane math will be completely off. Oh, I just realized there's no lane math here. And guess what, guys? Now there is. Ta-da. So let me quickly sort this out. See, little bits here and there that we're now fixing. We're doing such a glorious job. Such a glorious job. So from this point here is when they merge. So they go from the one lane into a double lane. And then every section after that, we are going to make sure that they can't switch lanes. So they're picking the lane that they need to be in as soon as they go through the split. That's exactly what we're getting set up. So they even know if they're going left or right, which gives us a long road leading all the way in for turning left. So anybody going to the right side, it's pretty much all clear for those guys. So I can now just sort this out. I don't know whether to kind of bend it a bit more, take away the bend, or maybe reduce this bend a bit. It's probably the better option. So if I bring this to about there, if I bend that like that. I know the bend's going to go a little bit squiff, but I'm just trying to make the change between this a little bit more smoother. So it will take a minute or two then for them to figure out their directions and understand what lanes they now need to be in. But I'm hoping it keeps the right lane completely flowing. Now, there might be a case where it gets backed up so much that it's going to lead onto there, but I don't think it will. It just keeps the right lane completely flowing, thus keeping the traffic off the highway. I don't mind too much it's on the slip road because of how it is. And I could do other things to change this as well. I could make it maybe go under, pop up on this side and continue. But I like this. I like this. Until we've got more connections, because we're going to have this road which will create a highway connection over in this way anyway. until we got more connections, that's just where the issue is going to lie. I've still got to do like roads that come across here, utilize this as going across as well. So there's still stuff that we can pretty much do. But if this is as bad as it's going to get, then I don't mind that. I don't mind that. Anyway, we're sidetracked. The university. So right now, we've got a couple of places over here that I complained about. There's not enough educated workers over here. There's not enough educated... Yeah, we get that. We already have a university here, which is the standard university, the University of Canal Town, which generates quite a bit of revenue when you think about it. So it only makes sense to build a second university. Now, when I build a second university, it will take away people from this one, so this one won't generate as much money. It might lose or start losing money. But as the city grows, we'll eventually build it up. Now, we've got this one over on this side. I feel like we need to get one over on this side. And I think this peninsula here will be perfect. And what makes me think it's going to be perfect as well, you know the sports stadiums you can build in university? Imagine having one at the very end of this peninsula. That would look pretty good, wouldn't it? I think that would. So yeah, today's episode, then we're going to get all this kind of up and running. We have a canal stop over here as well, so we get to utilize a little bit of the public transport. I'm quite excited about this. Now, what university, may you ask? Well, we've done the normal one. We have the options of doing the liberal arts or the trade school. And I think the trade school is the one that I want to go with. That is the one that I kind of want to go with. So we'll delete this road anyway to there where it gets there, because I want to bend it a little bit better to kind of go up in that direction. We need to create an entry to the university. So this is... Actually, I'm going to pause the game because I'm going to delete these power lines right now. So this is the main entrance, and we'll kind of come off this. Now, I won't come off directly on that junction just there. What we'll do is, we'll do the one with the trees. So what is the length of this road? It's a 40. So the 20 happens to be here. So we'll redo all of this, by the way. We'll redo it all. So if I bring this up by a 10, and then what I'm going to do here is a 5 by a 5. I'm just going to create... I like to do this. I think this is always a really cool way in which you can kind of create the main run of road to a university. Now, it might be a little bit too close, to be honest with you, to the edge of this road, but I think we'll get away with it because this is kind of how we're going to build it all up. So the main building then goes here. And I think that's a great way to kind of start it, to be honest with you. I actually kind of like this. So obviously that there creates a double junction, which I'm going to delete all this back right now, which obviously this does not fully, physically connect to it. But we'll do a raw road. That's what was originally there. And I think that's as good as you're going to get it to stick out. And what if we move this down to there? Now, I don't know what that is going to do in terms of our whole system with the canals, whether they'll stop there and then they'll just kind of teleport over there. Does it work? Okay, it works completely fine. So, okay, no issues there, guys. No issues there. Oh, I didn't realize how much traffic was over here. When you're back into pause anyway, because we've got no power in this area. So, we've got a lot of stuff that we need to place down right now. We've got like the dormitories and all that kind of jazz. We've got a lot of stuff we need to do. And we also need to place down the campus area. So, cover all this up. Going up to the peninsula. I can see us reclaiming some land over in that peninsula area to squeeze what we want to squeeze in. But let's first add a little bit more of this road situation. So that will go down to here. And then what I reckon is, guys, we... Oh, actually, let me first pick the stadium, because that's going to be probably more important than anything else. What are we going to go for? Do I go for the big American... Oh, that looks so good at the end, or I can go for like a baseball park. I've got to be conscious about the size of the peninsula I have to kind of manufacture. See, that could be good having the American football stadium, but I do like the idea of the baseball park. Only because the baseball park, when you look at it, look at the left side of it there, where they kind of they could hit home runs into the water. Oh, I like this because of the sheer size of it, but the baseball park, that would be such a good view. Right, let me get an idea to the size of this, and if I then pick, let's say, this road just there, and let me throw this down. So if I just threw it there, because it's hard to see the size of what I need, and then if I get the move it tool and select no trees, I can then reposition this because I can redo the whole peninsula. Oh, I've just deselected from the road, haven't I? Right, try and turn that a bit more, and we'll pull it to like there. And that's what we'll work with. Okay, we'll redo the peninsula, but I like the idea now of them hitting homers or dingers, whatever they call them. I can't know what they call them. Into the water with the bridge in the background. Oh, that would be so good, wouldn't it? Yeah. So that's the space I get to work with then. So I've got to bring this road in. So actually, I'm going to actually delete the road back to there. And we're going to kind of... we'll do a 10 by 10 bend. And then we'll run this up. Because we've also got to make sure that we're being kind of conscious about the buildings that we can kind of throw in. So if that's there... If I do a 11, and I can do a beautiful 10 by 10 bend just there. Just kind of bring that into the center, and then we can work from that, which would be quite interesting. Very interesting, as they say. To be honest with you, I was going to say put the main entrance there, but I'm going to keep it there. I'm not going to throw any more in. Right, so let's go back to the trade school stuff then, and we're going to start with the dormitories. So where could we squeeze the dormitories in? I mean, I could place some... I can't in many areas. I mean, we've also got this little space here to work with. Should I put the dormitories, not gonna lie, run of dormitories going down here? At the same time, we should also utilize this road here. So if I brought that to there. Oh, that almost connects into there quite gloriously. Right, what is the bend on that then? That is a... Right, I'm going to go for a 6 by 6. Oh, what setting do I have on here that's kind of doing that? Hold on. I got the anarchy on. I'm about to say, what's going on here, boys? Right, it's a bit awkward that that's not centralized, but I don't want it to be because of the size of the buildings that I'm going to try and squeeze in. So with that road kind of going down as well, it makes me feel more, it gives me more the ability to kind of utilize this area here. So I've got the option. I can either squeeze a load down here. So if I do one either side there, if I place that in there, does that squeeze in? No. So I'm going to have to kind of put the buildings quite close together. Right, if I put that on there, I'm just going to rejig this one. It's a bit better, isn't it? Actually, maybe a bit more over. There we go. A couple of dormitories thrown in right now. There can be the big buffer block to this campus area. And then we got to go through all the stuff. So I've got to put a path in and stuff like that to allow us to utilize some of these areas as well. So we'll go from there to there, and we'll do some crossings as well to make it a lot easier to navigate these areas. We got the path that comes directly off the main building, and then we kind of need to do some more. So I'll run one down to here. I'm going to come from here, and that there is a 17. So it looks like it's going to be a 7 by 7 bend for your boy. There we go, straight in. And I could do the same going down here as well, unless I left it completely blank. It all depends on the size of the buildings. Now, I know we got the big boy buildings to squeeze in. Maybe we should also think about getting these in before anything else. Now, when I built the other ones, where's the campus? I had to kind of reclaim some of the land. And this happens to be the School of Engineering. So it is quite important to get these style of buildings in. And because we got more space on the waterfront to do it, it's probably the best idea for us to get them in. So if I reclaim quite a bit, because I can always pull it back. That's the difference. So we'll start with this one just here. Quite a largest building, might I add. The School of Tourism and Travel. I don't know what that's got to do with the trade school, but again. And what's the size of this one? Oh, this is also quite a large one as well. Now, if I put that there, I'll reclaim the land, which gives me this then to work with. Oh, I could have put it there. I could have put it here, but the path slows me down. But then again, it all comes down to the spacing that's left over. So if I kind of give us a little bit of a gap there, just there is good enough. So they're the big buildings that I always have. I always leave them to the very end and then forget that I've got no space left. So Good job to get those in. We'll get the trade school study hall in, which I'm going to go for this just there. Study hall right next to the dormitories. We'll have then the groundskeeping building. So I'll place that on the entry point just there. The Buck Club, which I'll throw this in. We'll get this on the corner. That'll be kind of pretty sweet. Now, is this is the outdoor study area. Where do they do the graduations? It's this one, isn't it? Yeah. I think that would be a good one to squeeze maybe just here. So back to the outdoor study area. That's quite a large section as well. Now, I know I'm going to have to squeeze some path in. So if I go to there, and then we're going to kind of play around with a bend on this. We'll do this one where we can kind of manually mess about with it. So that's where the crossing takes place. So if I go a 25, 10 by 10, it's a simple bend, but we got to remember we're going to pull back the coastline as well. So where do we get to? The outdoor study area. Ooh. Right, I'm going to squeeze that just there. I'm going to redo that path in just a minute as well. We then have the gymnasium, which we'll place. I'll place the gymnasium. Do you know, I got a bit of space there. I can squeeze it in. We then got the cafeteria where they're all going to have their food and whatnot. So I reckon, I mean, it wouldn't hurt us too bad to throw it just down here. We then got the trade school fountain statue thing. How does that look there? Oh, it doesn't quite fit there. Okay, I don't really have the space to work with that, so I can place it just there, just for the sake of having it in at the moment. The trade school library. I'm looking for some larger buildings now to really bulk up this area. What's the size of this one? That's tiny. Okay, that's a bit better. We'll throw that one there. The school library I could get just over here. We then got the IT club, or the IT club. We've got then the academic statue. I reckon around here somewhere will be a good shout. Let's just do it there just before the path commences. We then have the... did I get this one in? Sorry, this was the auditorium. I did get the auditorium in, didn't I? Yeah, it's that one there. We then have the laboratories, so the buildings do start to kind of ramp up in size slightly. We have the bookstore, and everything else we're kind of gonna squeeze in trees and whatnot. What else do we have next then? We've got then the media lab. So I want to utilize this section a bit better, but the way I've set it all up doesn't kind of work out too well. So that is pretty much going straight down to there. I'm going to bring this up straight here. Do I just have it like straight angles rather than like the bendy angles? Because I can then continue this going up to there. And then with what I've got left, so I need to squeeze in the media lab, right? So that's a building that can squeeze quite nicely just here. The volleyball club. For then just there. Second academic statue, which we'll get just here to utilize that space. And that pretty much all fills us up. So what I could do here then is just bring this just down to there. Maybe run that across, just kind of give us more walkable areas. I could squeeze the odd dormitory in now for a bit more capacity. So I could do a double dorm there. I can squeeze one in just here as well. And that doesn't look too bad. It's quite actually large, isn't it? When you think about like the one we squeezed in here and how much we had to squeeze in. But then again, the buildings are a lot smaller for this one. So, yeah, not bad. I just realised as well, I used a rural style road, so I'm going to update the road to that too. Oh, it deletes the path. Right, keeping an eye on where my path deletion's happening. I'll only do the normal style road just there. Because that's the entry to the place. Oh, it deleted so much freaking path. Alright, we'll get to there. We'll just keep it like that. Oh, it deleted so much path, man. I'm not happy about that. I'm not happy about that right now. Right, so. There to there. To there. Right, I've got to do my crossing nodes as well. Oh, it messed up quite a lot of stuff, didn't it? Oh, I don't mind about those being too diagonal. Where else did it kind of delete? That's okay, that's okay, that's okay. There. Oh, just here. That was the other place as well. Right, that's all good to go. Yeah, we've got to do the terrain right now. So obviously I've got to bumper this slightly out to kind of meet the needs of the way the land kind of falls away. Same with this as well. I'm going to have to kind of redo the peninsula almost. Now I could key wall it, which is not a problem. It's not a problem. And I've got to then smoothen. Ooh. Be a bit careful there, boys. Smoothen from the bottom. First. Before we smoothen from the top. We'll take the heat slightly out of the top of it. So that all works just there. It's just this corner here is going to be a slight pain. So I'm going to go in. It's going to create that little triangle there, and we'll come back. So we'll take it all, smooth it in first, and then we'll bulk it back out again. So do again. Push it back out. Beautiful. And that corner just there. And then try it again. So we pump it all back. So we get away with a lot of it just there. Right, works just there as well. So some of it's completely fine. Some of it not so much. Some of it might need to key wall it. And you've got to wait for the grass to grow back as well. That's the other side of it, the other difference of it. And this. I mean, you could bring it down, but it never looks as good and it always sticks out. Alright. I ain't going to complain too much. Once the grass has grown and we got some trees planted, we'll be okay. So as I slowly choke, making sure that it doesn't go over any of the canal lines, which is good. The ferry lines, should I say. Power connects completely through it without me even having to add any power lines. That connection there is quite brave. You know what I mean? So what I could do, because that's all kind of commercial, we'll squeeze a little bit of offices just going down there to create another bumper border to kind of spread the power over a bit more. I don't expect it to all have any water. Oh, it does have water. Interesting. That's interesting. So all this should have power then. You should have power. We should have no power issues. Which we don't. I've just got to create the crossings. So add a node. So we do that. It should be default on crossing, which by the looks of it, it is. Okay, this one's not. Crossing. And crossing. So we'll do it where we need to do it. So cross it. Oh, I forgot about the water flooding. Hilarious. Alright. That creates a crossing. That there needs to be a crossing. That there needs to be a crossing, which it is. So apparently this one here is too close to a node, so I can just turn that one into the crossing. That's fine. Turn this one. Oh, what happened there, boys? Into the crossing. This one into the crossing. Into the crossing. And I think that's it. I could be wrong, but I think that is then it. So, come away from that. It will take a while before we start seeing the grass grow back. I wonder if I can slightly raise the entry of this canal. If the game will allow me to do that. Or whether they'll throw a tantrum. Because it's just because of the edge of that. I'm not too bothered if not. But we need to get some trees down. So if I just quickly pause and then... Oh, was that too many trees? How many trees did I throw in this one? Okay, I was half generous. I think I need to bring the strength down in reality. Yeah, I was semi-generous. Oh, what type of tree is this, by the way? The brush. I need the ones that are slightly darker, don't I? Oh my goodness, I got the wrong style of tree down as well. He's only got the wrong style of tree down, boys. There we go. So, be generous. It's what we're trying to grow. Oh, I didn't realise if you plant down the trees, it grows the area. Very nice. Very nice. So, it's a nice way to end the peninsula and just kind of fills the area up a bit more. We have public transport, which, by the way it's going, in reality, I reckon you could get like another stop here. Just there. Because then we got all the way down to there, then when there's like an actual game on. So, let's squeeze that additional ferry stop right now. So, I would want it, if I just place it here, let me get rid of this mode here. So if I place it there, to then utilize it here to bring it up, to rotate it to there, and then run that road straight into it. It doesn't have the water, which it does now. Should have the power, and then with the ferry lines, apparently water's required. Is that a ferry line? Yeah, ferry pathway. What do you mean the water's required? There's water there. Right, I'm going to do a diagonal like that, so we can kind of come in and go back out. And then have this stop just there. That actually doesn't work. Let me pause and delete that. There we go, that's better. So that will update in just a moment. And we have another ferry stop on this line. Today, please. Today. There we go. Just updated. Another stop just there, which is quite handy. Just so you can kind of, you know, give it a little more space. So there's like a lot of build up here. At least when the ferry comes, maybe a few people got off there, so there's more space on the ferry. So that works quite gloriously. Hopefully it works out gloriously. So how is this doing already then? So we're already starting to get the students. That's the 500. We need to level it up a bit as well. So we've got to invest some money into IT and engineering. I'm going to put in a big bunch of cash right now. I think yeah, so I think I've given it academic work right now, haven't I? So hopefully we'll level up. That's just going to get more students as time goes on. It will pull some away from the other university, don't get me wrong. So you might see a drop in revenue from this, which it was like 52,000. So that's gone down a bit, which is not a problem. But we are going to get more, you know, citizens moved in. So it could work out in the long run. This over here is starting to look like it's going to slightly become a little bit of an issue. And they all mainly want to go this way. Again, it's not a problem. They can do what they want. But I might need to bulk the lanes upon this to allow them to turn in and out. But I'm going to save it for now because I just want to see how everything else progresses. Has this... Yeah, this has solved the issue with them turning right, but like I suggested, you know, eventually this is just going to be backed up to the highway itself. But at least it solved the issue of them turning on the right side of it anyway. It is what it is, boys. It is what it is. There's not much you can do about it for now until you've got more multi-connections set up. But this is more important. This is completely free-flowing. So it's all worked out in the end. It's all weirdly worked out in the end. So we're now up to 700 students. It was on 500, so they're creeping in. They're creeping in. We've got a capacity of 7,400, which is more than the other university. Probably down to the additional dormitories that I did squeeze in. And yeah, you should start seeing more people. The only thing is, right, the only thing is for this, we don't have, in terms of the ferry systems, we have the line coming in this way. We don't have anything coming from here this way to university. So that's maybe something that we have to kind of think about in the next coming episodes. And also bring more people over to this area. And then bring them down this way. You got to be a bit careful though, because there's like a ferry jam right now on the go. Oh, look, I've still got to sort this out too. Holy smokes. We have those issues left, right, and centre, boys. Left, right, and centre. But anyway, this is where the fun now begins. This is where the fun now begins. We'll look to try and get an industry in next episode. Whether that's oil or, I don't know, expanding the fishing, expanding the farming. I don't know. We're going to see what happens as time goes on. So make sure you do subscribe if you're on new around here so you get notified when that next episode does come out. But yeah, New Amsterdam is getting very, very busy. A lot of people suggested I get a different form of public transport in. I don't know if I want to. I like the idea of it only being ferries, but never say never. Until next time, I see you all soon. So goodbye.